it's been a hot minute since I've posted, and that's because the current grind, my 1 inventory slot challenge, has been absolutely grueling. And since it's going to take a bit for me to finish up that grind and get that video out, I thought it'd be fun to do a different kind of video today. Today, we're going to look at some of the most interesting Easter eggs that RuneScape 3 provides. While going through this video, be sure to comment below whether or not you knew about these things, and let me know what your favorite RuneScape 3 Easter egg is. But without further ado, let's dive in. The first one we're going to go through has to do with shopping. If you ever trade anybody, you'll notice that in all your item stacks, you'll have a few different options of buying 1, buying 5, buying 10, or buying 500 or all. However, there's one shop that doesn't follow this order. If you trade the Candlemaker in Catherby, you'll see that if you highlight the white candles, you have an option of buying 1, buying 4, buying 10, buying 50, buying 500, and buying all. But if you buy 4 candles, wait, that doesn't work right. Apparently I need more space, so let's clear out some of this stuff here and make room for 4 candles. If I buy 4 candles, I end up with an item called a fork handle instead of 4 candles. Now the word fork handles and 4 candles can be considered homophones to each other, so we might just be confusing the candle maker. But this is also a reference to the 4 candle sketch from the BBC comedy show The Two Ronnies. Our next Easter egg takes us to the town of Lumbridge. On the east bank of the river Lum, you'll see this rock, and if we examine it, you'll see that it's called a champion of the people. This is an Easter egg in reference to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. In 1998, he started going by the nickname the People's Champ to pay homage to Muhammad Ali. More evidence that this rock is indeed a reference to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is if you use a raw piece of food on this rock, you'll get the message, "Can you smell what the rock is cooking?" And it'll cook whatever you use. So you can use this rock as a range, and the message that pops up is a direct reference to the rock saying, Oddly enough, I don't know if this is the Mandela effect in action or not, but I could have always sworn it was "Can you smell what the rock is cooking?" not "If you smell what the rock is cooking." Comment below if you thought it was "Can you?" Next up, we have random events. Random events used to be included in the older versions of RuneScape as a way to combat bots. Originally designed as a successor to the fatigue system in RuneScape Classic, random events would typically involve an NPC asking you to complete a task for a reward, or an NPC attacking you, requiring you to run away to despawn it or kill it to continue your activity. In October of 2012, these events were removed as the majority of bots were now able to actually complete the task, and these were now seen as simply a nuisance for legitimate players. But did you know that many of these NPCs are still in the game and have references to their old use? This includes the NPCs Giles, Miles, or Niles, who sit at the front of the Grand Exchange and offer to teach the player about banknotes, which is a reference to their ability to note items in RuneScape Classic, and a reference to their random event, which if you failed, they would note your items. You can still see the Drill Demon shouting out the same commands that he used to for the Drill Demon random event at the outside of the circus. The Freaky Forester can still be found inside of McGruber's Woods next to the pheasants that he used to tell us to kill. The Mime is hanging out in the Falador party room, and anytime you talk to him, he'll answer any of your questions in the form of an emote. Typically the emotes that he used to use for the Mime random event. And if you head to the Enchanted Valley via fairy ring code BKQ, you can fight the tree spirits by trying to chop the trees. When you try to fish, you'll find a river troll to kill. When you try to mine the rocks, you'll see our old friend the Rock Golem, and you'll see our old friends the Frog Prince and the Frog Princess, sometimes being turned into frogs and needing the other one to kiss them to turn them back into humans. If you're ever curious about the other random events, you can talk to the mysterious old man in Gielinor village, where you can ask him about his random friends and he'll tell you all about them, where they are and what they're up to. One of the conversations that you can have with the mysterious old man is about he and his friends' abductions. After a short conversation, he'll give you the code to Evil Bob's island, after which Evil Bob will show up and he'll end up kidnapping the mysterious old man. This will open you up to being able to enter the trap door to his basement. In his basement, you'll see a lot of little Easter eggs to all the different little random events. And upon climbing the ladder and leaving, he'll ask you about why you were in his basement. Next up, did you know that there's an NPC that canonically knows that we're inside of a video game? If we head into the Blue Moon Inn, the south of Varrock, and talk to the bartender there, we can ask him a question. That question being, can you write a recommendation to where an adventurer might make his fortune? He'll respond with, "Oh, I don't know if I should be giving away that information because it makes the computer game too easy." You can talk to him and say, "Computer game, what are you talking about?" And his response will be, "This world around us is a computer game called RuneScape." Our next one is one of my favorites, known as the Timbo Tree. If you head to the southeast corner, you'll find a dead tree right over here, and when you examine it, you'll see the text, "Never leave Mod Timbo near a thing of beauty." This tree acts like any normal old tree, where if you chop it down, you'll just simply get some more logs. But if we examine this stump, it'll also say Timbo! That's because this tree was accidentally removed on an update prior to March 20th, 2012 and was re-added. This tree is actually kind of important because on treasure trails, there is a clue step taking you to the spot with the tree marked, so there was some uproar when it was accidentally removed. For our next one, we all know that if you use a bucket on the well, you fill it up with a bucket of water. But did you know if you took that bucket and filled it up at the Barrows Rise of the Sixth well, you'll still get water, but it'll be provided to you by Aram. The best part about this is that when you fill up that bucket, you get a completely custom animation with that, so that's pretty cool. Keeping on the bucket theme for this next one, if you use a bucket of milk on a frost dragon, you'll get a chat notification saying they're great, which is an obvious reference to the Frosted Flakes breakfast cereal with their slogan, "They're not just good, they're great." Our next Easter egg takes reference to the common saying like finding a needle in a haystack, referencing something either being astronomically hard or the chance of something happening being incredibly low. If you keep searching a haystack, you may eventually find a needle with your character exclaiming, "Wow, a needle! What are the chances of finding that?" Our next Easter egg has to do with the note section on the UI. Now, I use my notes for lots of things, either paying attention to Zammy orders, what I need to use in order to make certain things, taking tracks of certain PRs that won't necessarily be tracked, or even my entire Razio rotation. Although that one might just be out of date because that's old. But did you know if you type certain things into your notes section, it won't come up, instead it'd give you something different, typically referencing something else, such as typing in "all your base are belong to us" will return you with "oh really," which is a reference to the famous video game Zero Wing, which was poorly translated. Or typing either "red rum" or "murder," returning you with "all rest and no play makes Guthix a dull boy," which is a reference to The Shining. Or typing "I am your father" will return you with "no," which is a Star Wars reference. Or a fun little Matrix reference by typing "there is no spoon" and it returning you with "then you will see the spoon. It is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself." Or my own personal favorite, typing in RIP RuneScape and it returning "wanna bet." If you're really interested, you can head over to the wiki page that has a list of all the Easter eggs that you can type in onto the notes and see what it'll return with. The final Easter egg that we're going to review in this video requires us to have roofs enabled. If you head to Catherby and look at the bank and look at the clock, you'll see that the time listed is 10:04. This is a reference to Back to the Future when the clock tower gets struck by lightning at, you guessed it, 10:04. But that's all the RuneScape 3 Easter eggs that we're going to cover today. If you'd like to see more, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know that you like this kind of video. If you enjoy my content, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.